I am going to report again my assigned topic, which is the assistive technology for students with moderate to severe impairments. Students with moderate to severe impairments face a unique challenge in the educational and social environment. Assistive technology is one way of supporting them in that process, and assistive technology can be used in the classroom to help assist students become successful in their daily tasks. Assistive technology is a broad range of devices, services, strategies, and practices that aid in assisting individuals with disabilities. And assistive technology devices are identified in the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act or IDEA as any item, piece of equipment, or product system that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of children with disabilities. What is impairment? Impairment is an absence or significant differences in a body structure or function or mental functioning. For example, problems in the structure of the brain can result in difficulty with mental functions, or problems with the structure of the eyes or ears can result in difficulty with the functions of vision or hearing. Impairments can be permanent, temporary, or situational. We have two types of impairments, the structural impairments and functional impairments. Structural impairments are significant problems with an internal or external component of the body. For example of these includes a type of nerve damage that can result in multiple sclerosis or complete loss of a body component, as when a limb has been amputated. For internal is most of the patients will undergo MRI to determine the extent of the injury. When using this type of examination, nakita ang imong organs niya structure inside your body, especially ang imong brain and the spinal cord. Then for the external component of the body, some of the patient is maka-decide sila nga ilahan na lang ipaputol ilang tiil, considering nga wala naman siya nag-function, so wala siya gamit po. Next is functional impairments. Refers to limitation due to the illness of people with a disease may not carry out certain functions in their daily lives. Include the complete or partial loss of function of a body part. Example of these include pain that doesn't go away or joints that no longer move easily. Types of AAC: the unaided system and aided system. Unaided system consists of facial expressions, gestures, body language, sign vocabulary. While the aided systems, these are methods can range from paper or pencil to communication books or boards to devices that produce voice output. Aided systems is also considered as a low-tech devices. Proceed to the two categories of assistive technology devices. We have the low-tech devices and the high-tech devices. First is low-tech devices. This is the most common from the assistive technology. Most of these are present in most classrooms, and we are unaware that we can even provide these accommodations. And low-tech devices is low-price equipment. Then high-tech devices. High-tech devices are more complicated and cost more, so expensive ang high-tech devices. Examples of low-tech devices: first is graphic organizers, also known as knowledge of map, story map, cognitive organizer, advanced organizer, or concept diagram. Second is visual schedules. Use a series of pictures to communicate a series of acts or the steps of a specific activity. Third is pencil grip. Improve the way your child holds a pencil or pen with pencil grips. Holders and weights can help train the hand to write more clearly. Highlighter and highlighting marker tape. Highlighter markers can be used to highlight important part of text. Let's proceed to the high-tech devices. First example is iPad. Second is electric wheelchair. Person with disabilities couldn't use manual wheelchair. Third is smartboard. Smartboard allows teachers and students to control the computer through the screen. Next is mouse alternatives, and we have different types of mouse alternatives. First is the trackball or rollerball mice. Remain stationary with the cursor controlled by rolling the ball with the thumb fingers on thumb. This type of mice is little to no wrist movement. Since it has a ball, so there is no need for you to move sideways. Second is touchpad or trackpad. A stationary pads operated by sliding or swiping your fingers across the surface. Clicking can be done with button or by downwards pressure or tapping lightly on the surface. Another type of mouse alternatives is head mouse. A head pointing device is a peripheral device that uses head movements to replace the mouse. So this is applicable sa mga students nga dili lang malihog ang ilang mga hands, so need na lang ang movements like sa ilang head. Next is mouth sticks, a daily living aid that is especially designed for individuals with neurological disorders, cerebral palsy, spinal cord injuries, or upper extremity disabilities. It is placed in the mouth and used to perform activities like turning pages, painting, pressing keyboard keys, and lifting small objects. So, foot mouse, typically designed to use both feet. One foot controls using a slip-on pack on a mat. The other foot controls switches, often with single and double click, or other options controlled by separate buttons. So, kanang black nga lingin is mo na siya ang imuhang i-click through sa imuhang tiil. Next is head movement. Uses head movement to control the cursor. This can be done with a wearable like the headset in the picture or using a camera. With head movement tracking, the cursor is driven around the screen. Elections are made using a switch that can be controlled by a tap or bite. So, kanang blue nga inyong makita is mo na siya ang i-bite para mo function ang device. Joysticks work in similar manner to the controls on an electric wheelchair. With the joysticks, position determining the direction of speed of the mouse pointer. Additional buttons on the joysticks can be operated left and right and double clicks, as well as other common shortcuts such as cut and paste. Pen mice is simply a mouse pack in a familiar pen form factor, relying on a battery plus a USB nano receiver to connect to the computer. Eyes gaze, an electronic device that allows a person to control a computer or tablet by looking at words or commands on a video screen. So an eye-controlled communication and control system uses the pupil center corneal reflection method to determine where the user is looking on the screen. Napala siya infrared system video camera mounted beneath the system's screen. So, mo na siya ang device nga ang mata ang makuman sa system or sa screen. Like, og ang user is ato siya mo tan-aw, ato siya gusto mo click is ira na tan-awon kay ma-detect man na siya pupil din. Once mo tan-aw na siya dito is mo operate ato ang screen og unsa iyang gusto. Next is bar mice are positioned directly in front of the keyboard and have a bar that slides left and right and rolls for up and down movement. Another example of high-tech devices is the keyboard alternatives, and we also have different types of keyboard alternatives. First is the ergonomic mice. These are designed to promote a better typing positions for your hands and wrists and therefore reduce the chance of strains and discomfort that can ultimately lead to significant issues such as repetitive strain injuries. The keyboard in two, placing each half on a curve so your arms are at more comfortable, relaxed angle when typing. Keyboard with larger keys. Like big keys and jumbo keyboards make it easier to locate keys and provide a bigger target area. Options are available with upper or lower case layouts. Touch screen keyboards. A touch screen is a computer display screen that is also an input device. The screens are sensitive to pressure. A user interacts with the computer by touching buttons or keys on the screen. Keyboards with more visible keys. High visibility keyboards use high contrast colors to make the keys easier to locate. A customizable adaptive keyboard for people with learning and motor difficulties. It is also beneficial for people with visual or cognitive challenges. Braille displays serve a dual function and enable you to both enter text and control your computer, and also to read documents, emails, and web pages using a tactile Braille display. With so many in the market, it is important to look at all options for Braille, text-to-speech, or other software and devices to narrow to discover the ones that suit your needs. So I have here options to consider when choosing assistive technology devices. First is use Google or other search engines. The easiest way to do research nowadays is to pick up a computer and do a Google search. Second, ask for a referral to an assistive technology consultant. Assistive technology specialists can be employed by multiple organizations, including resource centers and hospitals. Doctors and professionals, including speech therapists, occupational therapists, rehabilitation specialists, as well as school educators, can have connections with assistive technology consultants in your area and can refer you for an evaluation. Consultants have the most knowledge about assistive technology application and know how to find the best fit for different types of users. Go to your local assistive technology resource center. Resource centers for assistive technologies have become widely used over the years and can be found in major cities, as well as other regions around the world. To find the closest assistive technology resources center, do an online search or ask a healthcare professional. Fourth, ask the right questions. Before investing in the device of your choice, ask yourself several questions about the product. First, we have, does this tool address you or the individual's specific needs and challenges? Second, is the tool compatible with the existing technology you uses? Example, will the software work on your smart devices? Third, will it be easy to incorporate into everyday life? Following these 4 steps will guarantee that the device you choose will be incorporated to your daily life. Alternative and Augmentative Communication, or the AAC. These are strategies, techniques, aids, and tools that support a person with little or no speech. Alternative communication is the term used when a person has no speech. These people must completely rely on another method to make all their ideas, wants, or needs known. And argumentative systems are used by people who already have some speech but are either unable to be understood or have limited speaking ability. Aphasia, cerebral palsy, stroke, Down syndrome, paralyzed, and handicap. up. Types of AAC devices: dedicated devices, non-dedicated devices. Dedicated devices are those built with the only purpose of providing communication means to those who need this kind of support. For example, is the Tobii Dynavox, Logan Proxtalker, Modular AAC Device Package, TipTalk Plus Communicator, Beams Interactive Music Systems. Non-dedicated devices are those mainstream electronic devices such as smartphone, an iPad or laptop with which AAC software or application apps have been added. Pragmatic Organization Dynamic Display, or the PODD, is a way organizing whole word or symbol vocabulary in the communication, book, or speech generating device to provide immersion of modeling for learning. And we have two types of PODD, the low-tech PODD book and the high-tech PODD. PODD book contains hundreds of words and every possible topic of conversation. So as you can see in the picture is kung ano na siya, nara siya yung picture nga naka-attach sa papel, while the high-tech PODD is nag-use siya of device. For students who are blind or visually impaired, we have the JAWS for Windows Screen Reader software. JAWS stands for Job Access with Speech and is a popular screen reader. JAWS works with Windows operating system and provides text-to-speech and braille output. Next is Carousel Education. This is text-to-speech software can help those who are blind or visually impaired use computers and also read, scan printed material. Carousel offers various versions for individuals, schools, and institutions. Next is Refreshable Braille Display. This page from the American Foundation for the Blind has a list of refreshable braille displays. These devices processes information on computer displays and electronically raises and lowers different combinations of pins in braille cells. It changes continuously as the user moves the cursor around with the screen. Next is Google Chromebooks. Comes with audiovisual assistance. Screen magnifiers is software that interfaces with the computer's graphical output to present in large screen content. Next is high contrast mode. Make text easier to read on your device. This feature fixes the text color as either black and white, depending on the original text color. Next is Select to Speak. This enables you to select any text such as emails and messages and have it read aloud using the inbuilt screen reader technology. Braille Keyboard. Braille is a system of touch reading and writing for a blind person in which raised dots represent the letter of the alphabet. Braille is read by moving the hand or hands from the left to right along each line. The reading process usually involves both hands, and the index fingers generally do the reading. For students who are deaf or hard of hearing, first device is assisted device is FM systems. FM system stands for frequency modulation. An FM system is like a tiny radio station with its own frequency. An FM system has two parts. One part is the microphone that the speaker wears. The microphone sends a signal to a receiver. You wear the receiver on your ears or in your hearing aids. This lets the speaker voice go directly to you, making it easier to hear. You can use FM system almost anywhere. Next is infrared system. Infrared system use light waves to send sounds across a room. The system changes sounds into light and sends them to receiver. The receiver turns the light waves back into sound. Then the receiver can be in your hearing aid or worn alone. Another example for students who are deaf is induction loop systems, also called audio frequency induction loops or hearing loops. Induction loop systems work with hearing aids. The loop wire goes under the carpet or in the ceiling. The wire connects to a microphone. An electrical current moves through the wire when someone talks into the microphone. This creates an electromagnetic field in the room. You switch your hearing aid to the T or the telephone setting. Your hearing aid picks up the signal so you can hear the speaker. Next is one-to-one communicators, a system that allows a person to hear through a hearing aid or set of headphones only what one specific person is saying. Next is other HATS solution. HATS stands for Hearing Assistive Technology. HATS are devices that can help you hear in loud or busy places. There are many types of HATS, such as devices that make phone louder, louder answering machines, loud doorbells, computers, wake-up alarms. This can be loud bell or a vibrating clock. For students with speech disabilities, we have speech-to-text tools, or sometimes called Read Aloud. Is a type of assistive technology that reads digital text aloud. Second is word prediction tools. This tool can assist students with speech disabilities in communicating with their teachers and peers. Next is Office 365 applications. These applications have dictate and enabled ad that allows students to speak into a microphone and have their speech converted into text on the computer. For students with learning and cognitive and developmental disabilities, we have Microsoft Immersive Reader. This supports students with dyslexia and dysgraphia. We have Open Dyslexic. This is a downloadable font, and the purpose is to enhance the readability and the reading speed. Third is the Live Script Eco Smart Pen. Act as all-in-one microphone, speaker, and storage device. 5 examples of assistive technology in the classroom. First is electronic worksheets, phonetic spelling software, talking calculators, variable speed recorders, and videotape social skills. Electronic worksheets. These worksheets help students to line up words, equations, and numbers on their assignments. Next is phonetic spelling software. Phonetic spelling software is designed to automatically convert the students' typing into the word that they intended to write. Talking calculators. They function in the same concept of converting written words into an audible track. Students can use these devices to check their spelling or to improve their reading comprehension skills. Next is variable speed recorders. The students just to hit record while they are in class. Afterward, the recording can be slowed down or speed up for the student to listen to it again and again. Another type of assistive technology is the switch. Switch is an assistive technology primarily used by people with motor impairments to access and control computers, smartphones, and electric wheelchairs. So, switch is simply a way for a user to activate a control. Next is switch interface. This is an electronic bridges between switches and your accessible device. So I have here the switch access. So your type of switch, from type of switch to the switch interfaces, then from switch interfaces to the switch drivers, then from switch drivers to your switch activities and accessible software. Pros and cons of using assistive technology. Pros. First is students are able to work at their own pace. Second, students are able to accomplish more individually. Third, students are included into the regular classroom. For the cons, we have majority of assistive technologies are very costly. Many technologies cost thousands of dollars or pesos, and many school districts do not have the funds to provide these technologies. Second, to be able to use the technologies properly, training has to take place, which is very time-consuming. Third, technology can never be fully relied on. As we all know, technology always has its flaws, and if a student's assistive device is not working properly, the students may not be able to complete his or her task. The purpose of assistive technology is to maintain or improve an individual's functioning and independence, to facilitate participation, and to enhance overall well-being. They can also help prevent impairments and secondary health conditions.